Hello! Oh my word, welcome back. We have some more Enigma Cup to watch. I hope you're as excited as I am, and you should be, because today we have a very good, interesting matchup between two teams that have an awful lot of potential. Potentially going into the quarter-finals. This is the round of 8. This is the last game to be played in the round of 8, and the only one that hasn't been cast, I believe. This is a matchup between FLAMINGCAMELS and LEFTNATICS. So that's Lefty Sexton and Wisenatic and Gdubrocks and Madtomski, who basically both of these teams have played phenomenally well and managed to beat some pretty brilliant teams and do really well. So I am obviously looking forward to this matchup, and we're not going to wait for the imaginary millions of viewers to come rolling in. We're actually going to pretty much dive straight in to this without much faffing. I've got it pretty much ready and raring to go. So. It's one of those. One day I'll learn what my fucking hotkeys are. But today is not that day. We have, in the blue, Wisenatic. In the green, hidden away, Lefty Sexton, playing as the Spanish. We have Gdubrocks in the red, playing as the Persians. And Madtomski in the purple, playing as the Spanish as well. Again, a Spanish-Persian mirror matchup, as we have seen on Nomad pretty much every time. I think the next time we do an Enigma Cup style tournament, I think I'd like to see some form of Civs drafting, just to get, you know, a bit of variety in. Because whenever we have like the picked maps, the Civs have been the same, near enough. I know that we've got the randomness added in from the later rounds, but I just like that extra element of a draft. So Wisenatic has a pretty fantastic spot if he'd been Spanish, right on the stone, but he's not. He's the Persians. On the woodline, obviously Wisenatic is a brilliant player, knocking on that 2k, definitely knows what they're doing. Madtomski is the other high-rated player, kind of close to the gold. Sandwich between two woodlines isn't normally the best thing, especially because actually the wood efficiency will drop off pretty quick because there's only a small amount of woodline that's actually touching that TC, and it does mean that farming eco is going to be really rough in that mid game. Gdubrocks has what I consider a pretty good position, if it wasn't for the fact that he's right next to Lefty. If he can lock down this front area and stop Lefty from taking stone, that'll be absolutely huge, because only being on gold for Spanish is not really ideal. You want to have that stone pretty close by. Nice little pick off of Wisenatic's Vil there. Love to see it. That's a pretty early pick off of a Vil from Tomski. Some good awareness. Definitely taking this seriously. We can see that for a Nomad start so far, 4 minutes in, only 3 to 5 seconds of TC idle time. Now, Gdubrocks is probably the lowest rated player here. Gdubrocks was 900-ish, just under 1,000 at the point of sign-up. I'm expecting him to be higher rated now than he was then, obviously, because it's been 8 weeks. Genuinely, like 2 months of Enigma Cup goodness. And again, another Vil. Like, Tomski is on a Vil killing tear. Early loom, and against an unloomed Lefty. That's another dead Vil, and some food lost there as well. 2 fishing ships out for Wisenatic, 2 fishing ships out for Gdubrocks, which is nice to see. Only 1 fishing ship out for Lefty, there's the second just coming out right there. And only 1 fishing ship out for Tomski. So, should be a bit of a food advantage for Wisenatic and Lefty. Pinging the gold. Interesting. Maybe that's just letting the teammate know exactly where they are. House positions are interesting. I'm a little concerned that this might be putting Tomski in a rough position, especially because Tomski is normally the one to go Spanish and go conks, but we can see he has no stone nearby. Nearest stone to him is actually the same stone that Lefty will probably be wanting to take, or the stone of his teammate, which isn't outside of the realms of possibility for him to go forward and try and get this stone and be defended by Gdubrocks. I also wouldn't hate Gdubrocks just douching the Spanish player. I think that could be pretty powerful. Yeah, you'd have to put Lacquer, that awkward line, then Madtomski for him to appear, I think, with the ELO command. Oh, even doing the Nomad strat, so Lefty got some skills. Off the back of this, up to a minute of idle TC time for Lefty, and Gdubrocks, again, playing so much better than his rating is supposed to be, with only 15 seconds. He's done better than Tomski has, and Wisenatic in keeping that TC pumping. 18 vills, 5 fishing ships, genuinely an eco lead for Flaming Camels, and oh, the idle time now will come in, because we did, after my praise was being heaped on, we did house ourselves. Not the end of the world though. We click up to feudal age, maybe a vill behind where we would have wanted to because of that idle time, but all things considered, it's looking pretty good eco wise for Gdubrocks and Tomski. Wisenatic clicks up first, and will probably be so far out of the game that he will just boom. So I'm imagining that they're going for the classic strategy of Wisenatic booming up. Kind of looks like a fastish castle build, moving 4 to gold. Throwing down another dock. I mean, maybe it's archers. It could be archers. Or going galley. Maybe, yeah, it's got to be water. Right? It's got to be trying to control the water. Especially with the early click up, first to land. Dock will come down. So I'm expecting fire galleys out to try and kill Tomski's fish, which is really important. You've got to force Tomski to not be on water. Because if he's not on water, he's going to have a much tougher time going for mass of early conks. So first fire galleys on the way out. To be honest, when you see that nobody else is up, it might even be worth it to just stop making fire galleys and just get regular galleys. They're much better at killing the fishing ships, and we can see that Madtomski knows that he's out of position and is trying to retreat. Gdubrocks going for water. Fire galleys coming out. We're moving over to the new dock position over on this kind of left-hand side. But there's more docks here, and more fires are going to come out and loop around to try and find these escaped fishing ships. This is giving Lefty a free little fishing boom. Probably wanted to see more than 5 fishing ships out, all things considered. We're starting to wall up. Got a little bit of idle, but nothing too egregious right now. The idle TC time is getting grim for Lefty, but these things happen on Nomad. We can see that Tomski is definitely been affected by having to move all of his fish. There we go. Look at that. Finally there. Trying to get in with the repairs, and honestly, it's an easy fight for Gdubrocks. Who cares if Wisenatic is a 2k? Gdubrocks has too much strength. Taking the good fights. We'll lose this fishing ship, this fire galley, I mean, and maybe he'll take down one of his opponents. But so far, relatively even. Gdubrocks doing okay. And the more he just upsets, the better. It's impressive how Wisenatic has managed to pull these low HP fires back, and I'm expecting him to try and get them over to where a Vil can repair them. So they're going to just loop all the way around back to his own base. Because they can't do anything at the moment, really. That should be another fight that Gdubrocks has basically just managed to defend. He's defended the water just right. This has managed to keep the fishing ships of Tomski alive, which means that Tomski's fast castle has been fluid. We've not had to transition to farms. Like, this is pretty good. Wisenatic managing to do a little bit of damage on the berries, but not a huge amount of worry right now for Flaming Camels. With that earlier castle click up time, that means that Tomski's going to be in a great position. He has gone forward. He has managed to take the stone, and I think this puts them in just the perfect spot, honestly. There we go. Castle comes down on top of Lefty. Dire. I don't really see a way of Wisenatic and Lefty coming back into this if our Spanish player dies before Castle Age comes in. But he knows it. He's running away. He's on stone himself. Losing his fish is huge. Losing the fish is a big loss. But I love the reaction to just get out of there. Just get out. Make sure that we reach Castle Age. Make sure we've got as many Vils as possible, and try and do some damage. Wisenatic, 10 villages ahead of Lefty, but about even with Gdubrocks, the Boom King. Probably a bit over investment in wood, potentially. We have a glance over at our wood eco. Oh, not really. 16 on wood. That's maybe not. No, maybe that's okay, especially with how much we're fighting for water right now, and it is a fight that we seem to be sort of winning. Done good damage to Wisenatic. Wisenatic been forced to keep his fires garrisoned, and he is losing some of his fish. So Gdubrocks and Tomski just looking so in control of this game. I like how we've continued to have some Vils taking the gold. And we have managed to hit Castle Age. Castle comes up. We don't have enough wood for a TC. So we are going to have to keep making risky Vils. We haven't actually made a conch yet, have we? Oh no, we have. We have. And we don't have enough stone for a TC just yet. Oh no, no, we do. He's buying wood, ready to throw down a new TC over on this side. I think that's okay, but they have lost all of the map position. Great work from Gdubrocks, just locking down that water. This should be a bit of damage onto Tomski. Look at how fast the fire ships shred through fish. Like it's like they're not even there. It's like a fire through wood. Lovely stuff. Absolutely lovely stuff. Finally, conks come forward. We managed to keep the TC alive for a little bit, but with the conks there, that area is dead. Interesting TC position. I mean, I guess we're trying to secure the gold, but I'm a little worried. I am a little worried that this is a bit too exposed. We might even need like a tower or something at the front to really lock this down, because the conks can come and chill out here and they can probably range all of those gold bills. The boom of Wisenatic is just maybe not quite boomy enough. 38 bills. And we're about to be under an awful lot of pressure. These bills over here should all be dead. We do get one conversion, 2 conversions. That's great. With the backup of Lefty, that's a well-timed conversion. If they'd have stayed taking that fight together, they might have been able to clear that up. Bloodlines on the way in for Tomsky. So his conks gain even more health right now. Looking like we're heavy on stone, so probably going to try and force up a castle of our own on this hill, which will be really useful for trying to get that gold. And all of this is just putting Tomsky in a great position. Slow numbers of conks just looping around, just seeing what damage they can find. Second TC, it's actually the third TC on the way up over on this north side for Lefty. And we are not rushing up that castle just yet, but we're fucking close. We should be seeing it castle right on this hill as soon as we can. And it needs to happen, but there's so many conks around it. It's going to be so risky. If the castle goes up, this probably extends play to Imp. If that castle gets denied, this game will be over in Castle Age. Tomsky is just able to take the fights. His unit control is just that little bit better than Lefty's. And by little bit, I mean a little bit. The conks are here. They'll be on the hill. We won't be able to get that castle up, even though we're so ready for it. Look at the damage. 42 vils right now, but that won't be there for very long. Looping round with a bunch of conks as well. At the same time, we're just scrapping on water. Absolutely scrapping on water, while Gdubrocks goes for a 3 TC boom. 4th TC on the way down for Tomsky. And it's just starting to spiral significantly out of control. 28 vils for Lefty. Lefty just idle as well. 7 of those vils not being able to do anything. And he still hasn't been able to regain control of that hill. The castle is sort of perma-denied. Just look, all of the vils, they're hidden away in the TCs. We're completely cramped into the corners. We've not managed to really win water in any significant way, because we've still got kind of no fishing eco really running for anybody. It's become a complete land fight. Monk's trying to do some good work, but it's a worry. It's an absolute worry. That castle is so key for Wisenatic, but every little moment that it's denied is time that puts LEFTNATICS further and further behind. And Flaming Camels really looking in control right now. Gdubrocks hasn't really been able to be in a position to like show his dominance. Did great in that early game on the water, and now it's just become a land fight of conks doing nomad things. Monks are only a good counter in low numbers. Wisenatic not happy about that. Not happy at all. His TC expansion has been spotted and every single one of those vills goes down, and I think the GG is so close. Like, there's no point even coming over with low numbers of conks. It just leads to dead conks. And to be honest, I'm not sure why we haven't called it already. Like, both Gdubrocks and Madtomski are double the vills. And there's that GG. Pure dominance from Flaming Camels in game 1. Hopefully it won't stay that way though, and I would not be surprised if we got a reverse sweep. We've seen some great plays from LEFTNATICS. It's just, you know, Nomad is pretty much Madtomski and Gdubrocks' home map. They've been super dominant, and they almost took the game from Louisiana on Nomad as well. So Madtomski is a Nomad beast, especially with this Spanish play. 32 minutes is short, didn't reach him, but it's just great positioning from Madtomski and Gdubrocks. And I think they play together really well on Nomad. They have a well thought out strategy, and I am so unsurprised about them doing well on this map. Like, completely unsurprised. Right, let me pull up the next game. So we should be going to the home map, or at least the map selection of LEFTNATICS. And we do indeed. So, for those of you on YouTube, I guess it's only YouTube that wouldn't know, because it's just you and me. Here, Hypnos, just you and me. For those of you that don't know, though, the premise of this tournament is that in game 1, it's selected map and selected civs. Game 2, it is the selected map of the losing team of game 1, but then random civs selected by the random civ selector bot in the Discord, and who might be a sponsor, maybe, I don't know. And then game 3 is random map, random civ. So them's the breaks. Now we're diving into random map, selected map, random civs. So, are you ready? Because I am. I've got it loaded up right here, and we dive into the home map of the LEFTNATICS, and we go to Hideout. And I have to say, LEFTNATICS have definitely won out with what I think they should be pretty damn happy with. Combo of Vikings and Cumans. Cumans are a pretty top tier civ on Hideout. The Cuman boom can be incredibly strong, normally if it's with the higher rated player. But this might be the boost that Lefty needs to balance out the teams. So we have Madtomski here in the pinky purple, playing as the Koreans. Great archers. We got towers for days. Their unique unit can be pretty darn strong. Range and pairing together. Not great cav archers particularly, or at least that's not how they're normally played. The siege is okay, but like they should be trying to end the game before that becomes like a thing. And then we have the teammate of Madtomski in Gdubrocks playing as the Hindustanis. Typically a camel civ and good at dealing with archers with their Castle Age unique unit, the Gulam. Oh, Hypnos, your partners command is not working. Bring us back our partners. So we know. I'm pretty sure we had, what was it, AoE Insights? Were we sponsored by AoE Insights? Was that a thing? Feels like it was. Master Wallalobot. And the AnHK AoE 2 mod. Right, that was it. Somebody got sponsored by AoE Insights. Can't remember who. Anywho. Oh no, we did. Yeah, no, I just missed it. I missed it in the... Yeah, it was us. Hey! I use AoE Insights fucking every day. I don't even need to do a damn ad read for them because, like, I use it every freaking day. They must have had at least €100 from me over the time that I've been using them. It's great considering that we lost AoE2.net. Like, and that was a big loss. So many tools were really reliant on that website and its API. And AoE Insights has filled a void, a very, very necessary void for how a lot of the Age of Empires community gather information and how tournaments are ran. Without AoE Insights, a lot of these tournaments just would not be able to run easily. To be able to check for people smurfing, to be able to make sure that accounts are legitimate, to be able to track how people's development has been in recent times, to see that people are playing up to date on accurate accounts. Like, the website is invaluable. And yeah, very happy they sponsored us. I wonder if Wisenatic and Lefty Sexton will be happy that they've been sponsored by such a fantastic tool when they are thinking about diving up to the next age. I'm expecting a sort of fast feudal from Wisenatic, and also a fast feudal from Lefty into a 2TC boom. So maybe it's just feudal age for Lefty, and we try and do a greedy castle for the Vikings. Vikings have one of the strongest ecos in the game, if they are left to cook. So there we go. Tomsky on the way up and Lefty on the way up, both with pretty solid timings. So there's definitely been a little bit of practice going on there from Lefty. Only 30 seconds of TC idle time for those under the 1100, 1200 marker. Keeping that under a minute is always going to be something that they should be pretty darn proud of, and shows great development over the length of this tournament. Gdubrocks as well on the way up with only a single second of TC idle time. 900 elo, my arse. My arse. Barracks on the way down. So, are we going to go scouts? Or are we going to go for something else? Well, we're not making any man-at-arms. We've not gone on to gold, so it has to be scouts. That's an interesting choice. Got a barracks coming up for Tomsky, so that probably means that they are going to go for feudal aggression, and we're going to see a scouts and archer combo. Archers, obviously, from the Koreans, scouts from the Hindustanis. I don't think that that's necessarily a bad play. Barracks on the way down, so we might have scouted that out. But it's a later feudal age for the Vikings. 23 bills. Like, that's pretty much in a position where they could be fast castling, but we've got 4 on gold, and we're a little bit scrappy on the old food collection here. House will come up. I'm interested what Wisenatic is going to go for. There's that second TC from the Cumans. We are going to boom. We cocked up our food production. We probably wanted to have some farms down already, really, if we're Lefty. It's about 5 vils on farms, 5 vils collecting food per TC. And as we can see, that we've got a sort of grand total of 0 on the way. Horse collar on the way in. We'll have some food in the bank, but we can see our idle time will definitely increase with 2 TCs. 2 TCs is only useful if you can produce from 2 TCs. Scouts and archers make their way forward to pressure, but we already have an archery range up for Wisenatic. And it shouldn't be too hard for us to go for a pretty defensive play. Just making some skirms in the mix should probably be okay. Blacksmith on the way down for fletching. We'll probably see a second archery range at some point in the near future. If we do this all off one archery range, that might not necessarily be impossible. I'm intrigued as to why the scouts went forward with over to Lefty's base. They're in low numbers. I kind of think I would have preferred if the scouts had moved forward with Tomski. Like, I think that would have been pretty powerful. Like, in fact, I'm convinced of it. We could have torn through this palisade wall. Castle Age on the way in, so it was a vaguely fast castle. We're just going to wall up, reduce damage, force them into TC fire if they want to come in, and start making some archers of our own. We're pretty safe. See, the thing is if there were scouts here, the scouts could have just rushed through, upset the gold. As it stands, we'll probably throw down a second archery range in the back, kind of over here or over here, and start producing there. Just getting that mass up. As soon as crossbow comes in, we'll absolutely mop up everything Tomski is doing. And if they'd been combined together, they could have been so much more, like, way more threatening. The eco of Lefty is looking pretty tidy, all things considered. 39 Vils. The power of 2 TCs definitely showing. And we did manage to keep the idle TC time pretty low. Off the back of this, how are we looking for res for Flaming Camels? Not too far off clicking up for Tomski. Plenty on food to help that click up. The archers did manage to dive in, which is great. The reactions are good to try and keep that gold alive. We've had to eject some archers just to play defense. I'm a little worried that we need like one more thing. We are being ranged. We might lose a Vil, but we are trying to pull it back nicely. Castle Age is in for Tomski. Still trying to put a bit of pressure down. It's just, yeah. Not a huge lover. Lefty is pretty much ready to click up themselves. And using the stable that they're going to be making anyway to block off this gate. Really, really nice. I'm imagining that we're going into Step Lancers. Yeah, Step Lancers or Knights. Gdubrocks is going Blacksmith. Has a decent enough eco themselves. 37 Vils is definitely not to be sniffed at. At the moment, Wisenatic has the lowest Vil count. Only at 27 Vils. But we've only had 17 seconds of TC idle time. Is also the only person in Castle Age at the moment that hasn't been able to capitalise on any of those Castle Age timings. Hasn't managed to throw down any extra TCs to help the boom. Wasn't able to take a significant advantage because, like, everything was just upset. So the pressure from Tomski has been good, and off the back of this, we are stone walling, which I love. But imagine how much damage we could have done if we grouped together. Again, these scouts are just not going to be getting in. Maybe a little bit, like a tad overreaction. But, there we go. That's dealt with. Castle Age on the way in for Gdubrocks and Lefty. So everybody pretty smooth on their way up. And again, crossbow only just on the way in for Tomski. The fact that crossbow isn't on the way in for Wisenatic at all is mad. Like, I don't know why. Only just, I mean, Bodkin was... Tomski was behind in click up, but Wisenatic has not been able to achieve like anything. This is so weird. Again, Flaming Camels looking fine. I was super worried for them when Tomski got when Wisenatic got up first. New TC on the gold. The crossbow's having to play defense because all of those vills would die otherwise. We are finishing the walls on this side. We are trying to finish walling on this side as well. I imagine off the back of this, they'll stone wall up and both of them will try and boom. And I think that's probably a pretty good choice, all things considered. The worry is, if you fall too far behind in eco, behind humans and Vikings, it could be very, very hard for Hindustanis and Koreans to, like, catch up with that. That Viking eco can be dirty. Knights are out, and those scouts are now completely moot. But they don't matter. They don't care. They're stonewalling up. Leaving some big dirty holes. 3 TCs on the way down for Tomski. 3 TCs already down for Lefty. Lefty going to try and keep that Vil lead climbing. Has a decent amount of food eco. And we could probably do with scouting out that they've walled off here and wall off ourselves. Because, yeah, that would be handy. Instead, we've started to pump out some of those Hindustani camels. Hindustanis obviously replacing the Indians, who were the premier camel civ before the Rise of the Rajas expansion came out. Oh no. Oh no. Look at that for timing. Wow. No, no, God. Oh, God. Oh. That was so close. These camels have done a great job distracting. There's 2 different places that we could have got in there and absolutely spooned ourselves. But thankfully, thankfully for Gdubrocks, our attention was not there at the front, and this has left them in a pretty good position. Currently with the score lead, we have siege, we have an archer mass, and I'm getting worried for the LEFTNATICS. I expected this to be a banger of a series, but maybe not with pathing like this. This knight will get sniped before it manages to make its way over. Can this one mangonel do a hero job? 1. Boom! Splits are good. Can it take out the second mango? Doesn't need to. Knights are there. Oh, it does take out the second mango. Nice team play. The knights come and absolutely mop up the remaining archers of Madtomski. And the fact this mangonel stays alive is actually really, really useful. Going to keep that pressure there. Siege Workshop is now pretty much useless, but they've walled up. They are safe. We tried to go aggressive, and I'm not entirely sure why. And we're making Kipchaks at the back. Kipchaks will actually do really well against scouts and camels, as long as they are in kind of safe numbers. And I have to say, I would love to see some kind of team play off the back of this. They know that the military is out, but we've got 4 TCs. We're pretty damn safe. That's the thing, is Lefty's now starting to tear away a little bit. 85 Vils, wheelbarrow coming in, eco super safe, castle down, so we can't even pressure. We'll be able to expand off the back of this as well. 3rd TC only just on the way down for Gdubrocks. But handcart is on the way in, which will level out the eco with the Vikings for Tomski. We are on 3 TCs. Kind of mid-defensive castle. Also on the way down. I like its position. And now the eco will at least level out. Even though the Vikings have less vills than the Koreans for now. For now, as soon as wheelbarrow is in, that's a changer. A changer of the game. 4th TC for Gdubrocks. Monastery Siege Workshop. That should be for trying to click Imp, I'd imagine. And Gdubrocks does have the food, but doesn't have the gold. And we're still sending out like low groups of units. I love this. Just going around, throwing down outposts, just trying to get that vision. Problem is everything that Gdubrocks currently has over here dies to this army. Scorpions will be good. But if mangonels start popping out... Well, those camels only have their first armor upgrade. And you compare that to Gdubrocks, to Lefty, who has all the upgrades that he needs right now. Imp on the way in for both Wisenatic and Lefty. It's just that fantastic human eco, over 100 vills. Clicking up to Imp, fortified wall on the way in, and a defensive castle. I think this is fantastic, but the problem is, my worry here is that the castle will come up, Imp will land in for blue, and we will be in a position where we can't defend our front. Imp is on the way in for Tomsky, and Tomsky has started making war wagons and might be able to pressure in. But I do kind of feel like Wisenatic will be able to defend, because he too will be in Imp, will be able to defend far better than Gdubrocks will be able to, and Gdubrocks is not up. Just doesn't have the gold. If we had a market we could click up, we could sell some of our wood, and we have a lot of wood. All of that wood could be on... Yeah, I think that we're not at the farm numbers that we need, especially for the Civ that we're probably wanting to go into their camel line, realistically. Like, we're either going to want camels or gulam from them. Night Priest, thank you for lurking. I appreciate that. So we should be immediate treb to help pressure, and they should be realizing that they are in a bit of a rough spot. We should be able to get this castle up. Should, but we decide not to. We pull back and we're going to make the castle defensively instead. Maybe here? I don't know. Where are we going to go with that castle? Or we still intend to get it there and we're just going for that siege play. Mangonel shots should be good. Gonna want to repair that. Nope. Okay. War wagons do have 3+4 pierce armor, so it's going to be, you know, they do perfectly well against diving under TC fire, and they will mop up crossbows like they don't even exist. Bracer is in. And look at that. Absolute pummeling. Absolute pummeling. Wisenatic is definitely on what we would call the defensive. But over on this side, we have the two-team pressure. We're walling like crazy at the back of this. There's no point fortified walling if we're house walling. The castle will go down. Imp is on the way in, but we're in a game of defense. We're trying to hammer down a castle over on the right-hand side of the base. We are losing our position or just everywhere. Oh god, we're going for a forward castle, and we might be able to get this up. maybe. We've not got any siege on the way out. We're trying to stop it with skirms. The archers come over. We see it, so they hide back. It's like we've ran the town bell. The wood line's being hit. Wisenatic is being absolutely pummeled. This is all on Lefty. Lefty to carry the game. They currently have the score lead, but Wisenatic is definitely taking our pummeling. Definitely more pummeling than Gdubrocks currently is, but it's if Gdubrocks gets exposed. Like, Wisenatic is able to defend. He's hopping into the TCs. He's trying to get them up. The Cav runs over from Lefty to back them up, and we actually lose everything. I imagine some siege popped out. I might even let's hop back on that. I don't want to miss whatever the hell was going on here, because they're alive. They're losing HP to the TC, but there's still enough of them. They shouldn't be gone. Castle comes up. There's still 12 of them. There's 21 there, so that's still a fight that is relatively even. The castle's still denied. Maybe they're just taking too much damage. Skirms still should do okay against the war wagons. I don't like, where did they all go? Yeah, chipped away. TC fire, the combo of all of that. Wow, and just 1 or 2 cavaliers really swung that. So those castles will come up. We've changed the idea of what we were going for. We know that we're going to be on the defensive. At the back of this, we take a terrible engagement at the front. Lefty was clearly not looking at all. This has allowed the position of Gdubrocks to stay okay. But the push into Wisenatic's base has ended, and we still have 94 vills on the field. So this isn't game ending, especially with the Viking eco. Absolutely, Lefty doing just absolutely fantastic. These vills are running. It's very important for them to stay alive. Probably want to split them up into 2 groups just to try and, you know, they're being hunted. And look, we're splitting them off. We know that we need to get rid of those vills because trade will start to be a thing. And we're walling off. We want to stop raiding. We want to make sure that trade is secured. We'll see markets coming down. This is that late game eco. I'm not sure we'll get there because I think this push over on the south side is definitely going to be very effective. Now that they've defended that Tomsky push and we've got the Cavalier on the field, and there's definitely not a huge amount that we can do against the Cavalier other than taking into Halb, and we've already seen that the Vikings are quite content to go into archers and skirms against the Halbs as it is. So position wise, I think we're still looking pretty good for Lefty Sexton and Wisenatic. If we'll manage to get this castle down to the south, we're pushing nicely. This is a great castle coming up. Just secure this gold. More gold to take, less gold for your opponents. Getting a little bit of a surround. We probably want to keep these Cavalier alive, to be honest, before Paladin comes in. 19 isn't a huge number, and there's 12 of these elite war wagons on the field, so bunched up in the corner when Paladin is like 30 seconds away, just pull them back, let Paladin come in. It's such a huge improvement to your unit. And we've lost our entire mass before Paladin arrives. We do take down the castle, but because of the timing there, we're able to dive forward with the siege of our own, and we're probably going to take down the castle of Wisenatic, actually, who is having to go for a little bit of a Treb defense. And instead of using the Trebs on the Trebs, he's actually been using them on the war wagons, and they've been doing okay. So many of them bunched up that they're pretty much guaranteed to kill. Like, there goes another one. Boom, boom, boom. Trebs versus war wagons. Not a fight I thought I would be seeing. But there we go. It's actually been It could have been worse. Genuinely. It's the consistent slow push. And it's 2v1. Right? It's 2v1 and we've got Arbalests, we got Paladin, and we've got Siege Ram. And I don't think that Tomsky is in a position where he feels like he can turn his focus away from this push. Because if he does for a second, he gets pushed back and he'll die. So it was all on if Gdubrocks could hold, and Gdubrocks cannot hold against the combo of Paladin and Arb. The Imp Camels are fantastic. Get them into a mass, they'll take out Arbalests, they'll take out Paladin. They're so strong, but the mass is important, and the eco has been completely upset. And I am definitely worried for Gdubrocks and Tomsky. I think this might be them. Because all Wisenatic has to do is let Lefty carry. And oh boy, is he carrying. The Paladin raids are in. Gdubrocks still has 113 vills, but that number will definitely drop down by 26. Very, very soon. Look at it. Plummeting down at 96. We're housed as well because we've lost castles and position. We're not actually able to produce anything to help out. We've got no real military on the field. We've got no position. Like, we are dead zone for Gdubrocks. Even if we've got a relatively successful play going on from Tomsky, and Tomsky definitely has the score lead over everybody, but this is not a 1v1. It's a 2v2, and it's a 2v2 where I have to say, Lefty and Wisenatic have played this beautifully. Like, really, really beautifully. So many castles down as well. It's going to take so long to push this back. I love the way that Lefty has kind of secured the map control as he's gone through. Like, he's done a beautiful job. Tomsky managed to keep some of those vills alive and loop all the way around, trying to throw down a castle, which is going to be spotted by Lefty when he comes over to get the market. But he's just trickling in some halbs to be a nuisance. I think that might actually be a hotkey, a gather point mistake. I think he's selected all barracks and he's clicked them over here. And so his new barracks are just sending all of this sort of trickle of units round, which is very funny. Should be giving away that there's something down here, and this villager should spot the castle and should actually be able to deny it. We should be able to deny this castle. Light cav on the way in for Lefty. That's a... Well, it's not even light cav, it's full hussar. Don't know how necessary that is, but especially with the Paladin numbers on the field. I mean, we're holding. Ish. Gdubrocks isn't holding. Gdubrocks is being absolutely cleared up. 82 vills and 115 vills, so we are pop-capped. We've got enough military on the field for sure. But again, Wisenatic, all he needs to do is hold. And I mean, the other thing that he needs to do is just get some rams out. We're going into Cat Ram. As soon as Siege Ram is on the field, Vikings will start clearing up. Genuinely, Vikings will do absolutely fine fighting against this comp. Like, we've got Halb, Skirm, and a few war wagons. Berserkers, they're tanky, they're fast moving, they're able to take great fights. We've lost our castle, which is definitely going to hurt our production, but oh, we'll just make a new one in the same spot. Coinage on the way in for Tomsky, so they are really considering that trade, but trade is just never going to be able to come up for them. The castle was not denied. The castle was not denied. Our gather point is still churning things through the wrong way. Wisenatic has expanded their eco down to the right-hand side, and even though we've lost the position in our base, we are again just holding. Holding on for Siege Ram. As more damage is done. 90 vills, 5 military on the field. That's where I think these things will fall down. We have equal military between the two teams, pretty much. 84 and 81. But that's the wonderful play of Tomsky. Going for that free boom on the right-hand side of the base. I love it. All it's going to take is some of the paladins being refocused to the back and a treb, and this should be cleared up. This shouldn't be causing much of a nuisance at all. Tomsky has pathed some halbs down to the south to help defend Gdubrocks, which has meant that the focus has been taken away from the north side, and we've got Skirm, we've got Siege Ram. Halbs should go down, and it becomes so hard to push now with Siege Ram in place. Are we going to make more Zerks? Are we going to go for Champions? Town Watch in. We have been idled. I mean, they have... Tomsky and Gdubrocks have the score lead. Oh look, Hussar, some Halbs, Siege Ram. So we should lose this position. The Trebuchet was ambitious, to say the least. Markets on the way down. We will have markets down south soon as well, and trade should start for Lefty and Gdubrocks. Trade not really super viable right now for Gdubrocks and Tomsky. I meant trade should start for Lefty and Wisenatic. Military lead now in favour of LEFTNATICS for the first time in a while. Vills are even. We've got back up to 120, so the reboom for Gdubrocks is like so solid. But the world's smallest trade is available. We're going to need a purple Vill down south. Me feels. Yeah, for sure they're running out of gold. Say, securing the gold over on this side with this castle was really, really good for Lefty. Definitely helped them do some good work and meant that they still have some gold at home. So they have time to get their trade up. And it's definitely a... I'm surprised it became a trade game. Both teams have played this map pretty darn well, all things considered. I mean, Flaming Camels should have been dead as soon as we lost all of our position over on this side. But they're not. My concern is that they're chopping through here. And so, with Lefty throwing down castles and stopping them being able to get trade up safely for the world's smallest, shitest trait line, which will be down here. Soon this will be open, and the Hussar raids will be able to just dive into a huge amount of exposed, unsecured eco. Like, there's nearly 100 vills here, with nothing but 2 TCs to defend them. I think that's a worry. I think that's a worry and a concern. Still good damage over here, but this should be being cleared up. Siege Rams in the queue. Hussar and Onager for Tomsky. Hussar for Gdubrocks. How much have we got on food? 35 on food. Probably not enough for constant Hussar production. But we definitely need to be able to add something into the mix. It's just there's so many Hussars and Halbs out for Lefty already. And the Trebs and the castles and... oh, it's just overall... it's a slow death. But I do think it is a death. Score lead definitely in favour of the LEFTNATICS. Onager is at least being produced. And Onager will be pretty useful for the Koreans against the Vikings in this current matchup, because at the moment it's just war wagons dying to elite skirm. Yeah. Well, Purple has definitely realised that now is the time to push. I love this. That's it. Trade is impossible. Lefty has won this game. I think he's played this beautifully, locking off this entire half of the map solo. Low ELO Legion with a raid. Hello, buddy. And a lender. It's some of my favourite people all in one area. Thank you for stopping by. We're watching a mix of low ELO join us and some high ELO join us at the same time. Lefty Sexton is, or definitely was at the time, he's a D-ranked player in Super Draft, but has played just phenomenally today. They're about kind of 1,000 to 1,100, and his teammate Wisenatic is 2k, and we've got Tomsky who's 2k1 thereabout, and Gdubrocks who is 1,000. This is round 8 of a best of 3 between Flaming Camels and the LEFTNATICS in the Enigma 2v2. This is a higher rated player paired with a lower rated player, and they battle it out in a sort of vague round robin where every team plays against each other for, what is it, 9 weeks? And then they accrue points for whoever loses, wins, gains takes games off each other. That will then go into a knockout that starts not next week, but the week after, with a quarterfinals, not a quarterfinals, just semi-finals and then finals, I think. Yeah, Lefty Sexton is a beast. He's for his rating is absolutely fantastic, and he has carried this game. And again, they chopped through, just like I said they would, and the Hussar come in. 3 walls have been forced, but the damage is there and the pressure is happening. Lefty has just managed to push an entire half of the map, and he's pushing so much faster than Tomsky can. And Tomsky is a beast. He's just... the defense of Wisenatic has been fine. And that's the thing, it's been fine. He just needs to hold. And he's held enough that the GG rolls in. We fell below 100 vils for Tomsky. And that's it. That is the game. Fantastic play. This levels it out to a 1-all. It's been a while since I've managed to do a 1-all. Now, Enigma Cup is particularly interesting in how it lays out its stuff. So, Game 1. Game 1 is a coin toss, and whoever wins the coin toss decides what map you play. So, Flaming Camels won the toss. They picked Nomad. They won handily. They always win Nomad. Nomad is such a comfy home map for them. They play Spanish, Persians. It's dirty, and they won that. Game 2 is the loser of Game 1 picks the map. They can pick any map, and they get to pick it. So LEFTNATICS picked this. They win. Great. That's wonderful for LEFTNATICS. But they don't get to pick civs. No. Game 2, it becomes random civs, and the civs are selected by the Wololo bot, which is one of our sponsors, which you'd see if you typed in partners, I think, partner, whatever, Hypnos can tell us. And that selects random civs for game 2. And then the third game doesn't matter. It goes full random. Random map that is selected by the Wololo bot, and random civs for everybody. So we've had everybody in a sort of controlling position, able to choose things that might benefit them. Game 3, it goes out of the window. Now it's all about who can be the most versatile. Like, who can make the best of a bad situation. Because it's as I said, it's full random. So, as soon as I load up the next map. I think I agree with you, Gdubrocks. I feel like it is a touch luck-based. I would prefer a Civ draft and a map draft. Like, Lefty played absolutely amazing that game, but getting Cumans was huge. Exactly. Cumans is probably one of the best Civs that you can have on Hideout. Huge for him. But at the same time, I think your Civs were fine. Hindustanis and Koreans is at least a decent combo. I think Hindustanis can do pretty good. Certainly Hindustanis against Cumans. Like, that's not the worst matchup that you could possibly have. If you'd been Hindustanis up against the Vikings, fighting against each other, I think that could have been pretty grim. But ostensibly, I agree with you. I prefer a Civ draft and a map draft, and for things to be a little bit more in the player's control. But then again, the whole point of the Enigma Cup was that it was a little bit different from standard tournament formats. And it's definitely something that they're exploring. Say, Hermetica Clan are pretty new to all of this. Certainly for making tournaments, and certainly at the kind of level that we've managed to get out of, and the kind of scale of players that have joined it. This is definitely very new to them. But there can be no complaining about bad civs for our final game. No. We land on Pacific Islands. Oh boy. Should be a banger of a game. So it's a sort of migration style. I've never seen Pacific Islands. Well, I say never seen, not that I can remember. We start with transport ships for all of the players. Some fish, but not a huge amount of fish. So fishing will be an advantage, but not a huge advantage. Definitely don't want to invest too much. The biggest investment should be trying to get military and get control of some land. I mean, they did so well in the previous game, but Gdubrocks and Madtomski have what I consider a pretty banging squad. But Portuguese. Lefty has just been coming in every damn time with a civ that is pretty much perfect for the map. Like, fucking hell, what is going on with this guy's luck? Scuzzy, right, let's watch. So, in the south, in the green, we have Lefty Sexton playing as the Portuguese, a water civ. His teammate, indefinitely grime, we have the Gajaras. Not exactly a fantastic naval civ. Not the worst, but definitely not the best. Hugely versatile. If they've got goal control, they can do some wonderful work. They pretty much counter everything on land if they're given the choice and the position. And it's definitely a worry if you are fighting them as, for example, the Malians. As we have Madtomski playing over here. Malians have absolutely fantastic cav in their own way, with their Farimba cavalry being super duper strong. They get to beat most generic camel civs, but the Gajaras are not a generic camel civ. The Gajara camels pretty darn strong, and something that the Farimba cav will probably struggle against in the late game. And then we have Gdubrocks here playing as the Khmer. Also, again, not a top-tier naval civ, but they can do some absolutely wonderful fast click-ups. Their lack of reliance on buildings to click up is, I would say, a huge advantage. and how easy they are for lower rated players to play. Because of the solid eco, they're more efficient in their food collection from farms. So it means that even if we lose water, we'll still be able to have some form of eco rolling. But we've seen Gdubrocks do really well at contesting water. So I have no doubt that I think Gdubrocks and Tomsky will have been pretty happy when they saw a hybrid map. I think that they will do possibly a little bit better than Wisenatic and Lefty on a hybrid style map. That's just the vibe that I've got from them. I don't think they seem too phased by water, considering how well they did on Nomad. Now, I will admit a chunk of that was because Spanish going Spanish on Nomad. Wah! But this is not that, so this is definitely a bit of a test of people's abilities. So Doc coming down for Wisenatic, right on the box turtles. Doc coming down for... Look at this! Tomsky, you bully! Unloomed Vil will get sniped. After he kills the Vil, I'm expecting this scout to hop right back in and run away. That's fantastic. Plus the denial of the Doc and the house. Loom has had to come in. Oh! And we even delete the Doc. Wow. That's huge. That is huge. Loom is in. But that's definitely thrown a huge, like a spanner in the works for Lefty. We're going to be behind. Because we've already got 2 fishing ships out for Tomsky. We've already got the first fishing ship second on the way for Gdubrocks. We've got a fishing ship out for Wisenatic, but it's not found any fish. So, yep, no fish for Wisenatic. He's like, wait, what? No! There's no fish! This is bullshit! I did not hit her! I did not! He's gonna be so tilted. He's like, where's the fish? Finally! Found some fish. And again, is that another Vil? No. But let's just double check. Oh dear. I mean, all it takes is sending the one Vil over to back this up. Shouldn't kill it though. Yeah, it doesn't. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. The Doc goes up, but it's late. It's late. We could send our Vil forward. Where's our transport ship? Did we delete it? No, it's here. We could send a Vil forward to wall across here. And we could even wall across here. And we could wall here, and then we'd only have this path here to defend with like fires or galleys or like a couple like we could make this a veritable fortress. Bear in mind that we can indeed build on the on this terrain. That Tomsky wants revenge. I don't think there's much revenge to be had from Tomsky. He is by far the strongest player in this game. I mean, he's shown it in every single map that he's played. Like, he's just really strong. We've been so impressed by the Laka clan in this tournament. Both him and Mr. Dobson have been brilliant. Definitely performing above their ratings when it comes to the team play and how well they've managed to do. Second Doc on the way down, and Feudal Age in for Gdubrocks and Tomsky long before Wisenatic will hit. Now, is that because Wisenatic is effectively in a pocket position? Effectively. So are we just going to try and fast castle this? I think maybe. Lefty housed, so Lefty is having a bit of a Titanic moment. Getting some great scouting down for Gdubrocks. Not Gdubrocks, Tomsky. Another dock. I love this dock position. Right by the deep fish, so we can get some decent fishing from it. And also, it means that if we're trying to pass here with any military mass, demos can hop out. Like, it's just good for just controlling the map. Off the back of this, we've gone immediately fire galleys, and we've got Vils coming forward to the island. Interesting. I would probably have avoided moving to the island until Castle Age myself, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're worried about losing position. Camel Scout is out, having a tasty look round. We've got Vils for Lefty moving over. I would like to see... The lumber isn't great and we are out of hunt on the main island. It's true, I agree, the lumber isn't great. And you're out of hunt. There is a lot of hunt on the main islands. I guess it's worth moving out. Loom on the way in, and also Wheelbarrow. Now, I like Wheelbarrow. It's pretty early, but it means the Vils will move faster. The transport ship going down for Wisenatic. And the defense is okay for Lefty. The fires will push this back. But we have managed to lose 3 eco units. I think at least that's one Vil, 2 fishing ships, which is unfortunate. It means Lefty is pretty much going to be guaranteed on the back foot pretty much the entire game now. Wisenatic is the first to click up to Castle Age though, and that might be everything they need. Faster Castle Age, if we've got Vils in the middle, that will be huge, but alas, I kind of feel like we might have lost our transport ship. And if we have, it means that we've got to build a transport ship before we can move our villagers over. We have some idols, we're throwing down some houses, and we want to be over on that middle island already to be throwing up a TC ASAP. But instead, we are scrapping for water control. Oh, and fire galleys are not quite as effective as galleys are on this map. It's interesting that Malians are going for galleys because they don't get the final... They don't get galleon. They only get the fires, right? I think. As a Malian player, I should know this, but... I only play Malians for their swords, not for their water. Galley micro has been alright from Tomsky so far. Again, super comfortable being a... Ooh, God, it's right on the edge of fitting in this glass. Right, it's been solid. Absolutely solid so far. Water control has been decent for Wisenatic. He gets the extra transport out, and we throw down a TC as soon as we hit. War Galley will be in, and so we'll get a decisive lead in that water fight. Castle Age on the way in as well for Tomsky, who just keeps the pressure on. It's to be honest, a little bit of bullying. It's a little bit of bullying. We're trying to tech into galley of our own, but really, we need... maybe like 2 or 3 of Wisenatic's fires to make their way over and just support Lefty. Because Lefty is never going to be able to outmass this. And the island is so small that Lefty is in a pretty rough position. We're going to lose more Vils on the wood lines if we don't pull them back, and we do. Lefty's reactions are pretty good, and we do at least have some farms down, so we should be able to keep pumping out Vils. Say, again, about 5. We've managed to move 3 Vils to the middle, so that's at least something. 2 TCs down. and we have 2 fires on the way out over to help. This is a risky spot. This is a very risky spot. All it takes is a demo to hop out here, and we could take out like half of those. That's a very risky spot for that to have been in. Oh fuck! Oh Jesus! I've just spilled an awful lot of cider all over myself. Oh god! Now I have incredibly wet trousers. Fuck! It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Speaking of everywhere, demo shots coming off from Gdubrocks. And while Wisenatic has a bit of a military lead here, it's actually dying to the repairs. It's dying to the control, and so the regular fire galleys actually take out the navy of Wisenatic. Gdubrocks, you smurf! Gdubrocks, more like Smurf rocks, am I right? And 2 will not be enough. Oh, this might be a short game. This might be a short game. 3 vills, dropping a castle. Oh, that is dirty. We've got to spot it. We see it. 3 vills shouldn't be enough to stop it. Like, we could just huck two towers up. 2 towers. But I bet we've not got the stone for it. So there's no response, and it's too late now. 2 towers up with only 5 vills, we could have killed this. But alas, we're having to throw down a market to try and buy the stone. Oh no, this is Titanic for Lefty. It's a game that's gone from bad to worse. And I mean truly, truly worse. With this castle coming up, Lefty is going to have to full-on abandon the island, but he can't. He cannot. This is going to be a 3-vil eco. We're just going to churn out a few Gabettos who are going to use themselves to raid. Castle Age is on the way, but we could even have the Castle Age denied. This is... oh god, Lefty's got to be tilting. Tilting. 2 TCs down for Gdubrocks, who is just booming away, as is Gdubrocks' way. He's trying to get some more vills off his island. And I mean, they might land. They managed to slink through. That's very, very lucky for them. The Gabettos are there. And we've done a full surround. We were so late in supporting Lefty. Wisenatic really needed to come over and just like fully stop this. But it did not happen, and I don't think this will be a long water game at all. 2 TCs on the islands for both Tomsky and Gdubrocks. While we're winning the water-ish to the north, Gdubrocks doesn't care. He's already on the main island. Lefty is off the island. Fish, I just don't think fish is all that important. I mean, it's handy, but it's already inefficient. It's better to lose all of your fish and stop this from happening to Lefty than it is to maintain the fight. Especially because all he needs is to just have one of his docks sending some fires over this way, considering he was so much earlier to Castle Age than you were. Just mixing in a few demos, he would never have lost the water. He would have always been in contention. The fact that he didn't back up Lefty at all allowed this to happen. And it'd be grim. Castle Age does come in, and so we'll probably get a TC, try and get a TC down. Do we even have the res though? We don't even have the wood for it. All of those vills are dead. We're gonna go down at 10. 9, 8. Oh, 7. I mean, off the back of this, Wisenatic has 3 TCs on the main island, is churning. battle elephants are not the most intimidating thing in the world. As soon as you make a monastery or two, this should be fine, but the eco should be spotted. And if we lose these 3 vills, like, that's it. It's over. Probably want to make that TC down here or over here. Yeah, maybe in the midst. Oh god. Not there. Down here. Down here. Not in the line of where the military seems to be coming. Oh god, Lefty is so fucked. Camels. Monks. And off the back of this, basically Gdubrocks is now... Gdubrocks' job is to just keep upsetting whatever the fuck is going on in the main island. And that means that Tomsky can just sort of, like, boom, do whatever he likes. There we go. You come down here. You come down here while we relax. Yeah. Tomsky is just gonna do whatever he likes. Boom up, do some water damage. Probably make his way to Imp in a sort of relaxed fashion. Getting the food is almost there. We're off gold right now, which is interesting, but I think that's because we're just transitioning to a land-based food economy. All of this damage onto Wisenatic. Not maintaining any form of water control has been a negative for them. And we've even, like, there's still 1,000 gold here and over 1,000 stone. That'll be really, really useful. And all of these farms. 10 farms, there's 4,800 food there that we can get with a TC of our own. Oh, I love that. Absolutely love that. But I think I'm the only person who does, because for everybody else, there's MasterCard. Unupgraded knights. I mean, they're fine. Archery ranges, I like that a lot more. Lefty, this is just the worst place you could have put this TC. Well, not the worst. The worst place would have been up here, where it is, but it's next to the worst place this could have gone. Interesting choices. I mean, I'm bemused. Blacksmith on the way down, and a castle. Gabettos, though. Gabettos. The Vills are not going to repopulate this island. I like that we deleted all the farms. We did not want that to be a thing that could be taken, so that's got to be in the awareness. Tomsky will land in Imp first, and these Vills should move over, land on this island, and start making production as well. Castle coming down on the island on the left. I'm not sure it'll achieve a huge amount, though, because we'll be able to get a castle down of our own for Tomsky, and we'll just tread the first castle down. We've got Elite Skirm on the way in for Gdubrocks. Full water control. Defensive castle coming down at the front, which will be useful for trying to regain the water, but we're going to lose a bunch of Vills trying to get it up. Another castle on the way down for Tomsky. I think this is, to be honest, getting more and more clear. There's a 50 Vill lead. Double the military. Imp on the way in for Wisenatic. So he's there. He's just a little bit further behind. This would be a tasty castle, though. This second castle would be very, very nice. We can start getting fletching, which will help the range. But what do we do to Imp? Like, what is our response to Elite Gabetto? I do genuinely feel like Elite Gabetto is a concern. And look, we're having to run away from our 1TC. We're gonna come down south and make it roughly where we wanted to make it in the first place. But look, there's trebs, there's stables, there's a barracks. As soon as we come down to the south to try and make some kind of economy, we're putting it exactly in line where the next wave of pressure is going to come, and it's just pain after pain after pain for Lefty. This has been just the worst kind of game. Like, this is the kind of game that you can't enjoy. Like, you can only, like, this is only sufferance. Each time you think, okay, I'm leveling out, I'm going to claw my way back in. It's okay, Wisenatic is doing good, he's on the way to Imp, and it's like, oh, there's a treb there. The skirms, and okay, I'm losing my new okay, I'll try and get back in. Okay, no, something else awful has happened. I feel for Lefty so bad. He played so well in game 2 that they were clearly worried about him. He sends the Vils over to try and help get rid of the Trebs, but what do you know? Gabettos. And Gabettos just, they're one of the best raiding units in the game when it comes down to just pure damage. Their output is phenomenal. They're like Shotel warriors with range. Truly fantastic, and honestly, we're moments away from calling this. 112 Vils and 15, so we've got 125 to 203. Yes, this has been a lovely little push on Gdubrocks, but Gdubrocks is never, ever, ever going to be as dead as Lefty, who is at risk of being defeated. So the only thing I can imagine that they're doing right now is is just like typing out a really long GG message. It can't be anything else. Masonry in. But like, we're at minute 40 and Lefty is at 800 points. We're trying to convert the light cav. That'll do it. Castle's coming up, but it's like, oh, but look, I've managed to gain the island on the left. Mate, it doesn't matter. The GG is there. Wisenatic calls it. Tomsky gives them the respect, and Lefty, poor Lefty, got absolutely brutalized by the Flaming Camels in this match. So, to everybody who put their money on Lefty, we can see why. He is a monster of a man. But in our game 3, it was not quite enough. If we have a quick, I mean, we can look at the statistics, but it was just so clear that Tomsky dominated with the Malians. Gdubrocks played water really, really well. Wisenatic is great, but isn't able to do 2v1 against a squad that actually play pretty well together. And Tomsky can just carry these kind of things solo. Which, you know, not a huge surprise that they were brilliant. It was a good matchup though. LEFTNATICS did so well in game 2. So it's definitely not a 2-0. But we saw some real dominance in game 1 and game 3 from the Flaming Camels. So let's have a quick glance over here. Let's even go full screen so it looks a little nicer. To the standings. Where does that put us going into the final week? So everybody has played. We've got Dubzac versus Mindless Crusaders. That'll be a banger of a set, even though it's pretty much guaranteed that Dubzac can't go through anymore. LEFTNATICS versus Louisiana is unfortunate. because we rate LEFTNATICS, but Louisiana hasn't dropped a set yet. They have had a game, though. They have lost a game. Flaming Camels versus Tuna Plus. That should be pretty good, but Flaming Camels should win that one as well. And Age of Empires versus Burgermeister is probably one where I favour Burgermeister. I think they're great. They managed to take a game off Mindless Crusaders, which is awesome. Mindless Crusaders have been really, really good. Burgermeister got 2-0'd by Louisiana, but Louisiana said they were very, very threatening. Burgermeister lost 2-1 to LEFTNATICS, but again, we know LEFTNATICS are a beast of a squad. They beat Portalad, and I really liked Portalis and Salad. I think they were really good. I think they played well. It's unfortunate that they've dropped out, but they had one game left to play, and that was against Louisiana, and they just didn't want to get hammered again, so they dropped out early. Yeah, I think that will make for an interesting game. So the standings, yeah, we pretty much, like this last week, I think we've pretty much guaranteed in our finalists, aren't we? Flaming, unless if the LEFTNATICS manage to beat Louisiana. Yeah, Burgermeister has a lot of 2-1 sets. They're a really threatening team. And honestly, they should not be all the way down here. Like they should not. It's disgusting that, you know, even with all of the losses that they've had, we can see the difference between the amount of points that they've managed to gain. Like, they have 7. Portalad had 3 wins. But it's just 2-1s. Burgermeister, just so good. And the fact that they're 8th is just not fair. It's not okay. They're a brilliant team. So Mindless Crusaders pretty much guaranteed in. But where this might be thrown for a loop is what the order will be. So if the LEFTNATICS beat Louisiana, they'll get a whole bundle of points and might actually be able to come second. Right? Mindless Crusaders could lose to Gdubrocks. So there is still the opportunity for LEFTNATICS to come second, I think. And Flaming Camels should beat Tuna Plus. I think Tuna Plus are brilliant, but I don't know. They shouldn't be beat. Like, Flaming Camels are fucking sick. How did we get someone hop ahead of us when we won this week? I imagine that the team that hopped ahead of you won 2-0. So, I mean, Mindless Crusaders have always been in second position anyway. Like, that's just it. But yeah, they had their one loss wiped because of the dropout. That's true, which dragged them up. But it was the only way to make it fair, even though Portalad dropped out. Portalad had 2 games left to play, one of them against Louisiana. so that was going to be a 2-0. Like, they weren't, there's no way. And the other one was against Troy, who'd already dropped out. So it made no difference to the standings at all. Unlike Choi, who definitely, affected it. So, yeah. It's definitely all still to play for our positioning, because that will change where people match up in this. So first we'll go against fourth, second against third, and that will go into a finals. Then hopefully we'll have a third place matchup of loser of 1 and 2. We had some people suggest it's a bit sad because I think the best matches will probably be between teams 2 and 4. Well, I mean, who'd love to rematch Mindless in a best of 5? I'd love to see that as well. I would. I think that would be a really good matchup. But I also feel like, you know, I kind of feel like if your team makes it to the finals, you might prep something. I kind of feel like like Louisiana is not going to prep shit. So there's a pretty good chance that if you ended up facing Louisiana, that you definitely might be able to push them even further. Because as your team has come along, they've become a lot more threatening, I would say. But all of the games that we have left should be good. I look forward to seeing any combo, absolutely any combo. And this could all change. Like this order could all change in this last round. But it is pretty much between LEFTNATICS, Flaming Camels, Mindless Crusaders, and Louisiana. I don't think anybody else can qualify, which is super unfortunate for Gdubrocks, who I think are brilliant. Tuna Plus, absolutely fine, but I don't think they're quite at the same like overall team composition level as the other teams, because Anya has not improved as much as like certainly as much as Lefty, who's a beast, as much as Gdubrocks, as much as Zach, who's fucking carried games. Zach has been brilliant. Even Henrik has got so much better than he was. Seen Henrik do some good work. And fucking Frankatars and Rothmans, also brilliant team. Yeah. They definitely deserve to be there. But you're right. It is little mistakes. It is little mistakes. It was not a mistake to tune in to today's games, though. They were truly fantastic, and I thank you all for hanging out with us. This is the end of me streaming tonight, and I will be back for next week's last round. I'm sure that Hypnos will cast some of it, and then we will decide who will be casting what for the semi-finals and finals, and then the best of 3. We've not even discussed it with the streamers yet, so we'll have a chat about that. We'll find out who's going to cast what, and maybe, depending on who our finalists are, we'll see about getting. It might be really nice to get like one of the teams that didn't quite manage to make it, like maybe Gdubrocks or Salad or somebody in from the teams to help cast one of the semi-finals. I think that'd be really nice. But it's been really nice to have you all here, and if Hypnos wants to send a raid somewhere, you go ahead. Otter should be finishing up casting some deathmatch. Nilly versus Hazzy, which is some good stuff. I don't know how much is left of that set. They should be. I think they might be done. It was a best of 5, and I think Nilly just managed to pip it. So he'll be happy with that. So let's not raid Otter because he'll be going. He'll be finishing now Oh, well, whatever. We'll go over to Otter. Everybody, thank you for hanging out. Catch you another time.